Hi, everybody, welcome to The Grind, and I'm so excited that you are here with us, learning with us in this podcast. And The Grind is all about making sure that creatives are running successful businesses that will sustain them and even their loved ones and their families. And today we are starting a new series which is called Building a Successful Business. Of course, to build a business is a lot of work and there's a lot involved, and so we cannot tackle that in this one episode. All we need to do is cut them into sections until everything is covered. And so today we are in episode 1 of Building a Successful Business. One of the greatest challenges that we creatives have, me being a photographer and a filmmaker, is that we have a challenge of creating and building businesses. We are not good entrepreneurs, but we are creatives. However, there is no way we can make money and sustain ourselves if we do not put our creativity in a vehicle called a business. So we are good at creating, but we don't raise and build sustainable businesses. Why? It's because we don't think that is important. However, that is very, very important. So it's not your fault, it's not our fault. It's how we have been brought up, knowing that being a creative, it's all about just creating, and it's passion, it's something we love doing. But then, how is it sustaining you? If it cannot sustain you, then you cannot sustain your passion, because it's expensive to do creative work. So I'm glad to start this short series, which is called Building a Successful Business. So whether you're a photographer, filmmaker, graphic designer, makeup artist, any kind of creative, this series will benefit you a lot. So we need to know that the skill of starting, growing, and scaling a business is not that easy. It's extremely difficult. And if you listen to the people who have grown businesses are like children. They are like infants, and you need to make sure that they grow to become grown-ups who you can give responsibility, whom you can send out and they will earn money from you, who you can leave alone and you will still succeed. So our aim of running businesses is from catering a business like a child to when you can leave it, go for a 10 months trip, and the business will still continue. That's the aim of running a successful business. So in this episode, I'm going to introduce the 7 topics which I think are the major ones for building a successful business. So in this episode, we're going to discuss the first one, but then the other 6 topics, we are going to discuss them each on every episode. And so we are going to have 7 episodes in this series, and hope you'll make sure you follow us up to the end. There will be short episodes, not long episodes. And so when we finish up to the 7th topic, then you will say now you can be able to build a successful creative business for yourself. So let us not waste any more time. If you have not subscribed to this podcast, please go and subscribe. If you think that you want to share with a friend who thinks whom you think can benefit from it, please do so. Share the link and let people listen to this great content. So number 1 is you need to have a vision and a goal. And hapo katikati I will add, you need to have a vision, a mission, and a goal. So the question I'll ask is, how do you start a journey and you don't know where you're going? You don't have a destination. If you do that, you'll just run in circles. In fact, what you'll do, you'll never get to any destination if you have not planned it. And so that is the importance of a goal. A goal or a vision is something that gives you direction to where you're heading. It gives you a purpose. It gives you an end goal. And so it is always good to have a vision of where you want to be. And the mission is the road to where you get, the road to the destination. And then goals are the milestones that you put for yourselves so that you can achieve the big vision. And you are going to discuss that in a jiffy. Number 2 is the product. So you have a goal, yes, you have a business. So what product are people buying? What are you presenting to the people? What is justifying them giving you the money? Is that product what they need? Is it solving their problem? So there is importance for us to understand how to get a good product, and we call it product development. And product development is so much deep, so that you can be able to have a product that is pleasing to the client and that fetches you good money and that is sustainable. And so you understand, one of the statements we make is that the product is not about the product or service or the commodity. If I take a pen, it's not about the pen, it's not about a service, for example digital marketing. Absolutely not. It's about the whole experience you offer, you as a person, your office, your website, how you talk to them, their booking process, how they send the contracts. All those are part of your product, and we are going to discuss deeper about that in our second episode. Number 3 is developing a system of workflows. So if you aim to grow a huge business, you cannot do it alone. You cannot do without systems and structures. You need people to build the system and structures. You need people to build the business. However, to do that, you need to have a way where these people who come to help you have a process where they will not collide, they will not conflict, and there will be no wastage of resources. So this is done using systems and structures. So these systems and structures and workflows, if you are a photographer or a videographer or a creative or graphic design, you understand the workflows. So workflows is a standardized way of doing some kind of work. So for example, if you're a photographer and you have like 5 editors, you need to standardize the work of all those photographers and use that using workflows, so that nobody will do his own thing, they all do the similar thing. So those are workflows. So for creative businesses, for any kind of businesses, workflow and systems and structures. We're talking about financial systems, managerial systems, administrative systems, marketing systems. All those things we're going to talk about them and how to develop them in our third episode in this series. Number 4, we are going to talk about creating a team. Now, your team is your greatest asset. Remember, if you want to scale a business, you cannot scale it alone. You need to create a team. So without a great team, you are destined to fail. So first of all, if you don't have a great team, for example, I am a wedding photographer and videographer, and I offer, for example, 3 videographers and 2 photographers. How do I take the role of 3 videographers unless I have 3 videographers to come to the back for me? And that's what I mean by a great team. So creating a team is not that simple, but it's important. First of all, getting the right people is so hard, let alone paying them. So making sure that you have the best team with you is something that you need to put into consideration, to make them trust you, to sell the vision to them so that they can build. For example, one of my the production assistant or the production manager of my YouTube videos, called Simon, he has to believe in me that he has to spend his or her time, or he has to spend his time to take videos for me, edit for them. I have to sell him the vision for him to understand that it's worth it for him to come and record my videos or to be part of my production. So convincing them to work for you is one thing, to get the right people is another thing. And so creating a team is a whole challenge in a business, and it takes a lot of work, a lot of grace for you to create a team. And we are going to talk about how to create a team, how to manage one, how to scale one. So just tune in, that will be on our 4th episode. Number 5 is you need to nail your finances. So business is all about money. The reason why you are running a business is so that you can be able to make profit and grow. When you talk about scaling, when you talk about a team needs to be paid. When you talk about scaling a business, opening more stores, you need money for that. When you talk about advertising and marketing, you need money for that. So we cannot remove money from the equation of a business. In fact, when you say that you are not interested in money in business, then you are not in business. You are in charity work, you are in a hobby. Why? Because there is no way you can separate money from business. In fact, profit is the most important thing. So, but then you have learned how to make money, you have learned how to quote for business, how to book a client, and when money comes to your bank account, you don't have good financial systems for you to manage that money. Now, that's where we will discuss. We will discuss how we creatives, we need to manage our monies. First of all, one of the main things, even before we get to the real episode, is you need first of all to separate your personal money from your business money. If you don't do that, then you'll be eating your business money and then you're not running a business. I hope I'm not that fast, but that's the whole point. So how does money flow into the business, and how is it used? Things like budgets, how do you use your money? What is money spent on, and how are you keeping those records? When an auditor comes to your business and he needs to see the records, the bookkeeping books or the financial books, how do you keep your books so that you can keep record? So this is my best topic, and I love discussing this topic because I wasted 3 of my years in the creative career because I did not learn how to manage finances. And so I love discussing this because I have learned a lot. And so don't worry, we'll explain that in our 5th episode in this series. Number 6 is marketing and sales. So yes, you have a product and you have the best price, but if people don't know about your business, then what are they buying? They will go to the people they know even if they have bad products. So what you need to do is that we need to make sure that our businesses are known. And this is done through marketing, making the loudest noise that you can. The loudest noise that this is what I do. I am here. I am a photographer. I offer this kind of service. I am a graphic designer. I offer this kind of service. Make sure that everybody who can hears you. And right now we have great platforms like social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can every time be able to give information about your business. However, that's half part of it. Secondly, you need a very good sales either person or sales system. So because once you do the marketing, what you do is that you get people interested in your business. But then there is one thing to get people interested, and there's another thing for them to decide to buy with you, remove their checkbooks or remove their ATM cards or remove their credit cards or give you cash for your services. So there is need of something called a conversion. You convert a lead who comes through marketing to a customer who that is through sales. So marketing and sales are important. We are going to discuss about the difference and how you approach all of them in our episode 6 about marketing and sales. And we are going to talk about that and how marketing is different from sales, but how marketing cannot succeed without sales, and how sales cannot succeed without marketing, and how you need to combine both of them to run a successful business. So number 7, we talk about scaling. And scaling is as simply as right now you're working as a one-man band, but then you need to scale your business, for example, regionally or nationally. So there is no way you can be one person in a nationwide business. You need to scale the business, open more stores. For example, if you're a photographer, you'd want to open more studios. I take an example of Versatile. Versatile Studios have several studios in the country, or for example they have one in a place A, B, C, D, for example. And what they are doing, they are scaling their business. And for you to scale your business, you scale your business so that you can get more customers and therefore more revenue. And so scaling a business is also another skill you need to understand. And how do you scale your business? So many things. You need to increase your team, you need to increase your products or increase the price of your product. And so scaling is a whole new thing in running a business, and we are going to talk that in the final episode in this series, which is episode 7. So stay tuned. So that we cannot waste time having more episodes, I want us to discuss the first topic in this episode, and it is all about how to set goals and the importance of goals, the importance of a vision, the importance of a mission in your business. And I started by saying that it's not possible for you to start a journey without knowing your destination. If you do that, then you'll just be running around in circles. And in fact, what will happen, people who will waste your time because you don't know what you want to do, so people will just tag you along. A person will come and carry you to this direction. Then you find that's not satisfying and he takes you to this other direction. And so first of all, you need a focus. You need to understand this is where I want to be. And so the first thing we do is that you need to have a vision. And what is a vision? So vision is an aspiration of a business. For example, what does a business aspire to do for the community over time through the services the company is offering? For example, I have a photography studio. What do I want to give to the community? Where do I want my community to be over a time when I continue offering my photography services? For example, I give an example of Microsoft. So Microsoft, sorry about that. Microsoft had, at its founding, this was their vision, is a computer on every desk in every home. As simple as that. Their vision was to make sure that every computer that is in a household, it's of Microsoft, and that's what they're doing. So a vision is simply a vivid image of what you want your business to be at some point in the future, based on your goals, based on aspirations. So having a vision will give you and your business a clear focus and can stop you from heading in the wrong direction. So once you feel as if you're heading in the wrong direction, all you need to do is to come back to the vision, and the vision will give you a trajectory of this is the direction I want to take. So let's look at my business, because now we have looked at Microsoft. How are the things I'm speaking, am I applying to my business? And so what I will do, I will write a vision. I have a vision for my business. So I have a business called the Photo Launch, and the Photo Launch is an education platform. In my head, the way I started Photo Launch is I wanted Photo Launch to be a resource center for creatives, specifically photographers and filmmakers, and so that it can be also affordable for them, especially in the African context and economy. Because most courses are in Europe, and when, for example, they do photography tutorials, they are using white models, and sometimes we do not have the luxury of shooting white models. Sometimes we don't have the luxury of the equipment they have, because we're in different economies. And so my photography school is all about the African context and economy. Even weddings, how we shoot weddings is eventually very different, and so to take care of that community. And so this is my vision. And my vision, once you develop a vision, you need to have a vision statement, because this is what you share with everybody in your organization or in your business. Whether you are starting alone, you need to see that vision statement every day. And so this is my vision statement: to be the African most customer-centric education platform, to build a place where creatives can come to find and discover anything they might want to learn online or offline about photography and film. That is my vision. I want Photo Launch to be the number one most customer-centric resource center for filmmakers and creatives in the African context. And so that is my vision. So after the vision, then you need a mission. So a mission is the roadmap. And I said it earlier that the mission is the road you use to get to the vision, and it's more actionable. It's like an actionable vision. And so this is our mission. First of all, when you get the mission, then you need a mission statement. This is the mission statement: to continue to raise the bar of the education experience by using the internet and technology to help creatives find, discover, and learn anything, and empower them to build a successful creative business and maximize their success. So how do I become the most customer-centric education platform to build a place for creatives to find and discover anything they might want to know about photography and film? Is by raising the bar of the education experience. How these people come and learn, make it as easy as possible. So that is the vision. That is the mission. So after the mission, I have to make sure that the people that work for me, for example, the people I work with, like for example Fred or Sharon or Simon or Jason or anybody else, he has to have actionable goals. So for example, one of my goals is to create an online course, and I have given it a time bound, for example in 6 months. One of my other goals is to run a successful educational YouTube channel. The other is to run a physical education workshop monthly and have monthly series of education online webinars. Those are actionable goals. Those goals are building to my mission, which is to increase or continually raise the bar for education experience. And that mission leads me to becoming the most customer-centric, the best customer-centric, or the biggest customer-centric education platform for filmmakers and photographers in Africa. And you see, the goal builds to the mission, and the mission builds to the vision. And so that's how you need to approach goal settings. Now, you have the vision. The vision is too broad to work on. Then you have the mission. The mission is too broad to work on. But then you have goals. Now, these goals are something now it's understandable. You can pass a goal to a person, delegate to a person, and they will be able to do it as they build onto the mission, and the mission builds into the vision. And so now, when you're setting goals, you can see you can hear my goals. One of my goals is create an online course in 6 months. The second one is run a successful education YouTube channel for about 3 years or even more. It depends. Number 3 is run a physical education workshop monthly and have monthly series of education webinar. So some people now, we want to learn how to set these goals. How have I achieved to set these 4 goals that are building upon the mission? Now there is these wise men developed the SMART goal process of creating, which means SMART, the acronym. S is specific, meaning that it cannot be broad. It has to be specific. It has to be measurable. You have to be able to get to understand how have you gotten from point A to point B. It has to be achievable. You cannot put an unrealistic goal. Absolutely not. Then it has to be relevant to the audiences that I am speaking to, relevant to the business, relevant to the vision of the business. And finally, it has to be time bound. It cannot be open-ended, or else you will spend the whole time. And there is something we call the Parkinson's law. And the Parkinson's law says that work distributes itself to the time available. For example, if I can edit a YouTube video for 1 hour, if I allocate myself 6 hours, the 1 hour video will distribute itself in 6 hours. So that's why we are told to have deadlines and timelines. Why? Because a small thing, if you give it 3 days, will distribute itself in 3 days. So make sure that you give time bound. If, for example, I want to create a course, it has to be in 6 months. If I give it, I'll create a course. I can create the course even in 20 years, because the creating course process will distribute itself in the time available. So if you do not want to get things done, leave it open. But if you want to get this done, always put deadlines. Say, I want to be able to be a Premiere Pro expert in 3 months. Then in 3 months you'll be an expert. But if you say you want to be a Premiere Pro expert and you just leave it open-ended, then you will do it for the rest of your life and you'll never become an expert. Why? Because work distributes itself in the time allocated. The same way with goals. These goals, if you don't put time limits and they are called deadlines, they will distribute themselves to their allocated time, and so you will never achieve anything. That is called the Parkinson's law. These goals will determine the activities you do day to day. For example, if I have to achieve recording a course in 6 months, and there are, for example, 10 steps for me to be able to record the course in 6 months, then I have to distribute things in the 6 months, in the 24 weeks, and in the days that are in the 24 weeks. And so I have to make sure that I have daily objectives. So from goals, you break them down to objectives. Now, objectives are daily endeavors and activities that you do yourself or you give to your team so that they can be able to achieve and build up to achieving the goal, which you achieve the mission, which you achieve the vision. Let me give you an example. If I am supposed to release an online course in 6 months, so I have to write the things that I entail to develop the course. For example, curriculum, writing the curriculum, editing the curriculum, pre-production, and there is planning, there is production part of it, which is now recording the cameras, there is editing, there is hosting of the course, there is advertising, there is the launching of the course, and now all those things have to build up to the 6 months. So this will inform me that then these are my objectives. Then, for example, I need to write a curriculum in 2 months. So for me to be able to write a curriculum in 2 months, I need to have 2 hours daily each and every day from Monday to Friday to write the curriculum, so that I can be able to achieve the curriculum written in 2 months. So though that's how you are able to narrow down to objectives, daily objectives that build up to the monthly goals, that build up to the vision, that build up to the mission, that build up to the vision. So for example, I will use 2 months for the curriculum, and so I have to use 2 hours a day to be able to beat my 2 months deadline. So if I find that that's too much work for me, then I will delegate. I will call someone else and tell them, hey, you need to come and help me write this course so that we can have a deadline, meet the deadline of the 2 months. So that is how you set the goals, and I will recap all this in a very short form. There is no way you can be able to run a business if you don't have a vision, if you don't have where you want to achieve. You cannot have it open-ended, just heading to any direction. In fact, take it as if you're on a journey and you're just headed all the way on one straight road. Finally, you will go and you will come to a dead end, or even your fuel will run out. So you need to have a destination. So that destination is what we call a vision. And a vision is this big aspiration that you want as outcome of providing your services or your product to the community. Then when you do that, then you have to have a mission. Then a mission is the roadmap, and this is a recap. The mission is the roadmap to get to the vision. Now it's more actionable. So how do you get there? So for me to get there, I have to do this and this and this and this each and every day to achieve that. Then that mission is further broken down to goals. Now goals is more understandable, easily understandable, and it's something that you can give to or delegate to someone else. So your mission should be broken down into several goals, and these goals should be smart, should be specific, should be measurable, should be achievable, should be relevant, and should be time bound. Put a deadline to them, and I insist, put a deadline on them. And then you need then to break those goals into objectives. Now, something that a person can come and work on each and every day until the goal is met. And when the goal is met, then your vision is being met. And when your mission is being met, then you're getting closer to your vision being accomplished. And I hope that you have understood the first topic, which is setting goals and vision and mission. Remember to have your vision and write it down, which we call a vision statement. Make sure you have a mission and make sure that you write it down to a mission statement. Make sure that you have your goals, write all your goals with the SMART formula, and then have those goals into objectives that you can task people to do on your behalf, or you can do yourself. And so hope that you have learned so much today. That is our episode 1 in our Building a Successful Business series. Hope that you will continue studying more about running a successful business. The most important thing about this podcast is not just listening, it's about implementation. And that's why we call our podcast The Grind, because you have to go and grind and work and make sure that these things work. You cannot just listen like a motivational speaker or a motivational podcast. You have to go and implement. Make sure that you set your vision, your mission, and your goals. Even before we come to the rest of the topics, which is episode 2, 3, 4, 5, where we talk about product development, where we talk about finances, where we talk about scaling and marketing and sales, where we talk about creating a team. Before we talk about that, you need to do the first things first. First things first, have a vision, have a mission, have goals, have objectives, so that you can be able to, every day you can be able to measure that this is what I have done closer to my goals, this is what I have done closer to my vision. And so make sure that you go, write them down, have a vision statement, have a mission statement, have goals, then have objectives. Then we can now go to the second episode and we will talk about product development. Thank you for listening to us. I hope this was not a waste of time, and I know it wasn't. If you have not liked this or you have not followed us on our podcast, please make sure that you do. You can share this with your friends and family. Make sure that people listen to this thing. Follow this series. This will be a 7-week series. It will be 7 episodes where we talk about building a successful business, and this is specifically for creatives. Though the principles we talk about here can also be used in any other kind of business, but even the examples I'm using the podcast are all about in the creative industry: photographers, filmmakers, graphic designers, makeup artists. So make sure that you are able to understand and implement them. And also make sure that you follow us on our YouTube channel. The links are in the description below. Follow us also on Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you very much for listening to us. All I'm asking you is go out there and grind it. Make sure that you grind it until you become successful. Bye-bye.